This year is dedicated to Ili Nishmas Rachalea Bas Reb Chaim Tzvi. So at this time of the year, we thought we would speak a little bit about Inyanim of Shalom Bayit between a husband and wife, and we'll have this class will be geared towards the men, the husbands, and that's to whom I'm speaking. Okay, there's a list that is put up with the shiur, and I'll be sort of going through this list of 23 points that we'll be discussing, or most of the 23 points, Be'ez Hashem, or almost all of them, regarding Shalom Bayit. And so let's begin. First, we have introduction and Yesodos. So this point I mentioned already last year. It's a very important point. You know, we have to understand and this I heard from Rav Neuberger Shlita. I've heard several shiurim on Shalom Bayit. One from Neuberger Shlita from YU in Bergenfield, and also from Rav Malinowitz Shlita. Rav Malinowitz is the Rav of Shalom Bayit and one of the editors of Art School Gemara. And also, I'll be mentioning different ideas I've heard from Rav Noach Orlovich Shlita as well. So Neuberger started with the Sichos Musar, very interesting. When the Malachim come to greet Abraham and tell him about Yitzchak and everything being born, so they say, "Where is Sarah?" And Abraham says she's in the tent. So of course the Malachim knew where Sarah was. So Chazal wonder, why do they ask? So Rashi explains from Chazal, "Kedei l'chabava al baila," to make her more endearing to her husband. What's the idea? Abraham knew Sarah was doing the right thing. She was in the tent, doing what she was supposed to be doing in the tent. And for him to say to the Malachim, "My wife is in the tent, she's doing what she's supposed to be doing," so that made her even more endearing, more beloved in his eyes. And that's why the Malachim asked Avram where Sarah was. This is fascinating. This is unbelievable. Avram and Sarah have been married for many, many, many years. And decades. And yet, the Malachim are doing something to try to create even more Shalom Bayit between them. This teaches us the centrality, the importance of Shalom Bayit, to be working on it and thinking about it. You can have years of a happy marriage, many years of Be'ez Hashem, a happy marriage, and you keep on working on Shalom Bayit and doing more and more things, whatever you can do, to make things even better. The Malachim were thinking out of the box. What can we do? Well, let's be creative. Let's do something that can add even a little more to the wonderful Shalom Bayit that Abraham and Sarah had. And that's what we can learn from that very important Rashi that's mentioned in the Sichos Musar. Number 2, the Shechina. We have to remember, we have to always remind ourselves that every Torah home can be and should be a makom for the Shechina. Ish v'isha, they have the letters of Ish has the Yud and Isha has the Hey, and together, if they're Zocha, they can be a source for the Shechina. And every husband has to remember that when he's at home, he's trying to build a place to be for the Shechina. There's a Rabbi Dr. Jerry Loeb, a psychologist from Chicago. He wrote a wonderful article, first on parenting, called A Father's Kabbalos. Wonderful article. He also wrote a wonderful article called A Husband's Promises. I think it was originally published in Jewish Action. And he has many ideas there, many insights, and just a beautiful, clear way of presenting a lot of issues. So he writes here as follows: "I'll make our marriage a priority. I will find some time every day to spend with you alone." We'll get back to that, Be'ez Hashem. For at least a few moments. "I'll make every effort to go out with you, when possible, several times a month. I know that our relationships need talking and time together. I will remember that my efforts are an investment in eternity and a source of joy for the Shechina, the third partner in the triad of our Mishkan, of our marriage." A beautiful idea. You're building a home for the Shechina. You're building a home for the Shechina. Whatever you can do to have more Shalom Bayit and more Ava in the home is a makom for the Shechina, and it's impossible to think of things more important than that, a place for the Shechina. Next, we have the 8 secrets. Rav Orlik writes, and it says in his speeches and writes in his books, the following idea. We live in a crazy world. and there are so many influences out there that can affect our home and affect our children. And everyone wants to know, what can we do to help protect our children and help create a home where our children can grow up and develop into successful B'nai Torah, religiously successful and emotionally settled, stable, psychologically healthy. What can we do? So Baruch writes, there are 8 secrets to Be'ez Hashem having the best chance, the best guarantee, the best chance of successfully raising children in the modern world. What are the 8 secrets, he says? Shalom Bayit, 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 and of course, Shalom Bayit. It's crucial. It's the foundation upon which everything else is built. If we want our children to grow up and